the family to reach the NBA.
Derrick Rose.
So it's Washington now. This game coming after a loss against the Bucks.
Probably their poorest defensive effort all season long. I mean, at home, that kind of D is not going to cut it. Never mind when you're on the road.
Hey, I don't know, guys. This may be all speculation. Perhaps they had a bad flight into town the night before, and we all know a rough flight in can lead to turbulence on the court.
Now here's Beal, following the miss by Carmelo Anthony. To the paint, here's Morris, and it's blocked.
Offensively, 1 of 4 to start. They're still trying to find their stroke.
Rose with the ball. He's picked up by Wall. Anthony against Morris. Fires at the elbow. Kept alive. Here's Noah. That's no good. Misses his first shot of the night. Washington's gone 1 of 2 from long range in the first quarter. Wall dishes to Morris. Back to Wall. And again, Washington with the triple.
There's a chance he could have a big game if they don't D him up more tightly on the perimeter.
Guys, they're looking for a way to score here.
Yeah, they've had a tough time getting the lid off the basket so far.
Anthony against Porter. Clock at 6. Back to Rose. Launches it. New York, no good that time either.
And they're 1 of 5 to start this game. Just really haven't gotten into a flow offensively.
There's Porter with the 3. It's rebounded by New York. They're coming into this game off that recent loss to Atlanta.
You know, you hate to use this word, but I really felt like it was a sorry effort that they put forth on the defensive side.
Oh, that's pretty harsh from you, Greg, but you're right. I mean, too many times we saw them slow to set up and get on D or late on their rotation, and they paid a big price for it.
The shot is off. Great defense that time from Noah.
Well, not really his best quarter as far as scoring. Let's see if he can eventually get back on track.
And here's Anthony for 3, and he gets it to go.
For 3.
Anthony's got himself going there, his first points of the game on the deep ball. Washington trailing.
Listen, the Knicks had a hard time scoring last year, just lacked any real presence in the paint, and lacking that paint thread makes things easier for the opposing defense.
And that one's good by Gortat.
Great pass. John Wall is really good at finding the open man.
Rose kicks to Lee. Outside Anthony. Pass to Porzingis. Fires the 3. That's in there. Anthony with the assist. You know, at the Knicks, they were second to last in field goal percentage from their front court. Granted, they were hit by injuries. It seemed like all over the place all season.
Yeah, you know, with that poor field goal percentage shooting and being top 3 in field goal attempts on the year, not a good combination.
Gortat. Shot is off. So New York will take it the other way. Outside Anthony. In the corner, it's Noah. Fires from deep. Fires for 3. And another 3 from Anthony. Anthony's got a pair of 3s now in the first quarter for the Knicks. Last season at both sides of the coin for the Wizards started out very hot, but then just could not keep it going.
Well, you know, the start was extremely hot. 19-6, which tied a franchise best, that record. After that, though, they played close to 500 ball the rest of the time.
So timeout called here, the first for Washington.
And the Wizards really struggled post-All-Star break, playing under 500. Still, though, they seem to pull things together at the very end and on into the postseason.
Mahinmi's checked in for Gortat. So New York going with almost an entire new group. Kevin Serafin is checked in for Noah. Amundsen comes in for Porzingis. Sasha Vujacic is checked in for Courtney Lee. And Justin Holiday subbed in for Rose. Now here's Wall. A 24-point outing in their last game against Milwaukee.
And 3 blocks on the game as well. I mean, he was going all out and making plays defensively.
Well, there's no denying it. The Wizards had some bumps, and you mentioned that. Some weeks they looked like a lottery team. Then the next, they looked like a title contender. They knew how to make the most of their games when they did get hot, though.
Wizards trail by 5. There's Beal with the 3. Can't hit. Anthony with the defensive effort.
Yeah, but the defense was determined not to give him an inch of free space.
Vujacic the pass to Amundsen. There's the pick. Holiday dishes to Anthony. Back to Holiday. Shoots it. So the whistle blows on the shot and 2 free throws for the contact right there.
Well, we've got a moment here now, Kevin, to look back to last year's Knicks. 8th in free throw shooting, 14th in blocks. And they were in the top half of the league shooting the ball from deep. Average to pedestrian, but still fairly effective from there.
And you look at their free throw percentage, not to be overlooked. I mean, this was a team, I thought, that did a really good job of taking advantage of their opportunity.
Here's what Washington's going with right now. J.J. Hickson, he's checked in for Morris. Thornton comes in for Bradley Beal. And it's Burke in for John Wall. The Knicks also changing it up. Kyle O'Quinn, he's checked in for Amundsen. Thomas comes in for Carmelo Anthony. And it's Jennings in for Sasha Vujacic.
Good ball movement. He put that pass in the ideal spot, right where it needed to be.
Thomas a screen. The drive by Jennings. Tries yet again. Shot's good for Seraphin.
What a start they've gotten off to on the glass. I mean, they've come out banging.
And when a game starts off like this, Clark, there's an intimidation factor, a physicality that they've brought that comes into play.
Thomas with the steal. And here comes Holiday leading the fast break. Outside for Thomas. 3-pointer. No good. Now Washington takes it the other way.
2 years ago, Utah drafted Trey Burke to be their point guard of the future. Then last year, they drafted Dante Exum. Set up quite a competition between those two.
New York leading by 4. Thomas a screen. The drive by Jennings. Outside for Thomas. Thomas with another miss. And we have an intentional foul there, G.A. Wish I could say why.
That one's pretty strange. I mean, no idea what got into his head right there.
And the Knicks decide to take their first time out here. Well, clearly, guys, Trey Burke is a guy who is talent, drafted number 9 overall 2013, grew up in Columbus, Ohio, went to the University of Michigan. But so far, you know, Greg, in the NBA, he's been a bit of a tweener.
And that's a great point. And part of the issue is, you know, he was a scoring guard in a point guard's body. And one thing that happens in college when you're the best player, it's a lot easier. Now when you move up to the next level, you have to change what you do on the floor to impact the game. And that's been a challenge for him thus far early in his career.
Interesting. So New York ends up going with the new group. Good! That's now 8 points for Otto Porter Jr.
How about the passing? They are moving the ball without any thought, without any individual agenda.
Yeah, and it's really fun to see that kind of unselfishness. Really hard not to appreciate all the assists they've racked up.
Here's Early. Out to the right wing. Shot clock at 5. New York, no good that time either.
And, you know, going back to Trey Burke, for a guy with a scoring mindset, he has some limitations there. His field goal percentage was under 40 his first 2 seasons. Part of that is because he doesn't have the explosiveness to get to the rim.
And, you know, talking about Trey Burke, at his size, he needs to become a more consistent playmaker. I know he's a competitor, very successful in college, wants to play a lot of minutes in the pros. But to do that, he needs to reshape his game and I think adopt a pass-first mentality.
Catching up on the changes for New York. Joakim Noah is checked in for Amundsen. Anthony comes in for Early, and Lee's subbed in for Sasha Vujacic.
Excellent ball movement there, guys.
And that's key to this run, passing it with purpose. The D hasn't been able to keep up.
Rose kicks it to Noah. Out to Anthony. Lee outside. New York moving it around. It's stolen by Mahinmi. Marcus Thornton on the wing. And that's going to do it. Some good defense down the stretch to... And And some tough times for the Knicks, but you listen to Carmelo Anthony, it's clear he's invested.
They pulled all the strings to get me here.
Knicks fans rooting for Carmelo to help make New York a playoff venue once again.
And you know what? It's going to take a lot more than Carmelo playing strong to get the Knicks back into the playoffs and to make them a destination to where NBA stars want to come.
Well, up to this point, a closely contested game as we start the second quarter. And a look at how the offensive approach has been going here so far for the Wizards.
They've definitely had a hot hand from three-point range. Always nice to get off to a good start.
They've been distributing the ball really well tonight, too. I mean, a decent number of assists so far for them.
And New York, looking at who they've got. Rose is out there with Lee. Then it's Anthony. Then there's Noah. And it's Porzingis in at the 4. Deep 2 from Anthony, and lots of contact there. Missing the shot. He'll shoot 2. Well, Clark, what can you say about the Knicks last season? They had a lot of trouble on their road trips, among other things.
Well, especially on the road. I mean, only managed to get 7 road wins on the season, Kevin.
And for the Knicks last season, they actually shot decently. On the road, they just didn't play any defense, and that's kind of what did them in.
Catching up on the changes for New York. Kyle O'Quinn, he's checked in for Noah. Thomas comes in for Porzingis, and it's Jennings in for Derrick Rose. Jennings with the ball. He's picked up by Wall. Thomas kicks to Anthony. So he gets the whistle. Contact on the way up, and 2 shots coming up.
Well, you know, going back to the Knicks on the road, they just forgot to defend the three-point shot. I mean, they had the worst three-point field goal percentage defense with their opponents making 40% of their threes against them. That was the worst in the league.
The Knicks making a switch here. Holiday's checked in. Well, last season, the Wizards fell off just a bit in the second half of the year. Still, Greg, very competitive at home.
Yeah, and their strong play at home helped them weather that storm, Kevin. I mean, they ended up going 29-12 here at the Verizon Center.
Good.
2 points.
And the Knicks lead by 5.
Brandon Jennings.
Here's Wall. Now the pass to Nicholson. And the shot is good, dropping in off the front of the rim.
And, you know, that 29 wins mark at home for the Wizards, 3rd best in the East. That team really likes shooting the ball here, as they were a top 5 three-point percentage team in this building.
And he was fouled on the way up. 2 free throws now for him.
And I like the fact that the defense is looking to protect the rim at all costs.
Definitely saved the layup with that foul, and you'll make him earn them from the line, and that's what you want to see.
And really the driving factor for why Washington was so good at home was their defense. I mean, they would finish with the best field goal percentage against in the entire league in their home building. You don't think of the Wizards as a lockdown team, but in the Verizon Center, that's exactly what they were.
Went for the two-hander on that slam. That's where the weight room comes into play, Kevin.
I think some urgency from him there.
I think he's sensing that this is a critical time in the game, fellas.
And that one's good by Gortat.
He always knows where his teammate's going to be, and Kevin, that will let him put the ball where he wants it, right waiting for him.
Rose passes to Carmelo. Anthony sets the pick for Rose. The pass to Porzingis. Back to Rose. 6 on the shot clock. Beal against Anthony. And he gets the friendly spin, and that one drops.
It's got to be nice for them to know that game in and game out, his offense is going to be there for him.
Passes it to Thornton. Lets it go from deep, and he's able to get it back. Second shot opportunity. Here's Morris, and gets hacked by the D. He'll go to the line. That's on Joakim Noah. The Wizards shooting their 5th and 6th free throws of the game. First one falls for him.